for the reduce of the back temporary, Mr. Jiang talked about a lot yesterday, and we can do smallest is 950 mm. So just remember this one. Bigger than this one, it's okay, but lower than this one, it's hard to find the supplier. And this one, the structure is safe. Still have 7 people choose yes. You say this, we talk about, Mr. Jiang also talk about a lot. If you use temporary glass, you can't use only if you are just a clear glass, clear float glass, or other thin glass, you can use 0.38 mmPAV. Otherwise, it depends on your size, and if you are temporary, you can't use this one. You can use this one. At least use 0.76. And this one, the following is not safety glass, just the heat stress glass is not the safe glass. Heat stress. The temporary glass and lamy glass, and this is double temporary. Or everything, if you made up with temporary glass, yeah, they are safety glass. If you are made up with heat stress glass, it's not safety glass. Just remember one, heat stressed glass. And this one, Malaysia require less than 40 external reflective glass. I remember we talked about yesterday is 25, less than 25. So less than 40, that means 13 is still okay. So that's wrong. So I still have 12 people choose the wrong P. And this one, the online coating has only one layer of pure silver. Yeah, we talk about this for a lot of time. And the online low E do not have the lawyer, do not have the silver lawyer, do not have. And for our offline low E and the solar reflective also don't have the silver. Single have one lawyer, single silver low E have one, double have two, triple have three. So otherwise, online and solar reflective both don't have the silver. Also for our KSH 168, this one also don't have silver lawyer. So remember this. And the maximum process size for our coating line is it's 3,300 square 6,000 this one. We can do 6 meter coating. And this one, yeah, the recent order distance form 就是每个月的下单预测表。I think Mr. Fen talk about a lot. We need submit and every month 15th. This one fully necessary condition for order. Yeah, this one I think. Yeah, this one we choose for. Everybody take it right. Everybody right. And this one, there are some people wrong. For the double tuft triple silver low insulating. So take it clear. Like for triple low, we must temporary first, then coating. So just we just do cutting, aging, then we temporary. So since we temporary, we go to coating, then insulating, then panking. So just the most important is the order of temporary and coating, temporary and coating. So just remember, uh, for our double low E and triple low E, we must do the temporary first and do the coating then. And for this one, this is the visible wavelength. Visible wavelength. Yeah, this is just the visible Tristan. Visible Tristan. Think most people do it right. And this one, yeah, this one is the character that laminated compared with insulating glass. Laminating and I say safety performance definitely, because the Lemmy class, if you broken it, it's still one piece. It's well not become it's broken, but it's still the whole piece. It will not hurt people. And in safety class, we talk about a lot. Laminated is safety class, and UV shadow performance, UV. And I think this one probably some people don't know it very clear. Like if since you use PVB, since you use laminated, use PVB for the UV transient, it's almost zero, almost zero. So some place, for like a hospital, sometimes they need the UV. They need the UV to kill the virus. They need the UV to kill the virus. So sometimes you guys to remember, you need to remember for the hospital project, we don't recommend them to use the laminate glass because they will stop all the UV. They will stop all the UV. But for some place, for some place, they won't stop all the UV. They won't stop all the UV. We can use this one. Yeah, just remember, PVB will stop all the UV, all the UV. And the south insulation is also very good. Energy saving, energy saving, because compared with insulating, for insulating glass, we can use low E, double, triple low E. But for laminate glass, we cannot use this. We cannot use this. We can only use hard coating and solar reflective. So this makes the laminate glass, the energy saving function is not as good as insulating glass. So this is this one. And the base technology process of our coating process. Yeah, just this one. Vacuum magnetized spatter. So this is right. Most people choose the right one. And for the online low E, yeah, they use this one. They use the first one. Offline low E, we use this one. And for the last one, yeah, uh, this one for my text system have some problem. They need, so I say most of you guys give a very perfect answer, but you can't get a score. This is my system problem. So for this one, I don't talk about a lot. Okay, okay, that's all. Ifan, are you here?
Yeah.
Okay, your
Hello.
turn.
Oh, okay. Right. Good morning, everyone. My name is Irfan. So today I will be presenting and the sample order. Right. So can everyone see my PowerPoint? I'll take that as a yes.
Yes, you can see.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
About the customer reception, there are some things that you need to know, especially for the before you start to make the customer come to our factory and make a tour visit. So for our client factory visit, first of all, you have to make a confirmation And then the factory have to make preparation before we start the factory visit. Okay. So for the confirmation, first of all, we have to know which party will be coming to the factory. Because for each specific project, we have 5 different party that will be involving in the project. So we have developer, and then we have architect, we have consultant, main contractor, and subcontractor. Okay, but we also have to beware of the competitor that will be coming to the factory, because we don't really encourage for the competitor to come, because then we will spill our secrets to our competitor, and we don't want that, right? And then next we have to know the reason that they will be coming. So we have three. Right now, I found only 3 reasons that they will be coming to the factory. First of all, is the company introduction, which mainly for the new potential customer. So the one if they come, we will give a different sort of tour visit. So different reasons. Sometimes we give different type of customer visit. Okay. So especially for like company introduction, we will give them. We will not really show them about QC. We don't focus on QC, quality control. But then we will mostly to introduce them, especially using the technical infrared test. And then we will also show them our flow glass factory, something like that. And then for some of the existing customer, they will want to come to the factory for sample viewing. So for sample view, it is very recommended to be informed to the factory beforehand, because for sample view we have to prepare the sample first, and then we have to bring them to the meeting to compare with the other glasses, and maybe we have to put on the packing side for them to see after the factory tour. Okay, so sample view is a bit of a it's a bit of time consuming, because we need to have the sample beforehand, before the customer come to the factory. Okay, and then lastly would be the consultant audit. So this one should be, I think, the most difficult one, because this one we have to collaborate with QC, and mostly the consultant came and they will find all of our mistake for the project. So this one we need to make careful preparation, especially for the checklist and the production factory. They have to prepare for cleanliness, and then for the how do you say, also the all the production must be running at that time. Okay, and then next, lastly would be we have to know when's the client's availability, so that then we can make customer visit. And then lastly, we also have to know factory availability. Especially recently, I think we are constructing laminating line. So if that particular client's priority is the laminating line, so at this time it's a bit hard to view for the laminating process. Okay, so we have to know both the client and the factory availability, and the client specific reason, before we can confirm for them to come to the factory. Okay. Alright. So next will be our preparation before the factory visit. So the first one, we have to know the date when the customer will be coming, and then the number of the people that will be coming, and then just now, like for the confirmation, we also have to know the reason for the visit, so that we can prepare beforehand on what they want and what we need to do. And then especially for the flow class visit, because for factory introduction, we especially need to show them our flow class factory. But for audit and sample view, flow glass visit is not really necessary. But once we need to make a flow glass visit, we need to inform the flow glass factory and make them prepare everything beforehand. So this one is mostly for preparation. And flow glass visit, we also have to include, I think, max inside the OA. Okay. And then next, we also have to confirm the time of the visit, because sometimes if they come at maybe 10 o'clock, we have to prepare for lunch. And maybe if they came at 2 or 3 in the evening, at that time we have to prepare for dinner. All right. And then lunch or dinner, the salesperson also have to decide whether to lunch inside the factory or to lunch or dinner outside of the factory. Okay, so for the lunch and dinner inside the factory, this one we have to inform HR uh, for them to make a VIP seats for our clients. Okay, and then we also have to consider that the factory will be on break, especially on lunch between 12:30 until 1:30. So for this time, it's not really recommended for clients to tour the factory because at that time no worker is working, so they cannot see any process or production that is running. Okay, so this one is also very important, but usually is at the moment we will decide. And then next, we also have to prepare for the hotel and flight booking. This one we have to confirm with the customer. Either they will be coming here and then straight away get back home, or they will need a hotel here before they will come go back home. So this one, if we need a hotel or flight, we have to inform HR beforehand, right? And for this one, if some of the customer, like in area of Malaysia, they want to come to the factory by themselves, so that one we will talk on the day of the visit. But for flight on the airport, so that one we have to prepare the pickup, and then we have to inform our HR so that they can prepare transportation, especially using the company car, so that they can pick up what time to pick up at the airport, and then what time also to drop off at the airport. Okay, and then all of this point is especially important inside the OA. So this one, once you get all of this information, is especially important for you to put in OA in GS008 for all of us to see. Okay, listen. Okay, I guess I proceed. So next, this one is the GS008 OA. So for this one is the customer inspection application form. This one is a example that I screenshot it, put in the PowerPoint. So this one we have to put the survey purpose, what purpose that they will come to the factory, and then we also have to put the visiting time here, and then the customer name. We have to know which company that will be coming and what are the purpose. And then if you can find out the highest position of the visiting customer so that we can especially focus on that guy, the number of visit customer, and then the project name, the usage of glass, and also any other important information of project. Like for example, if they need like laminated glass, or maybe they need a coated glass, solar reflective, something like that. What are their focus on that project? Okay. And then next would be this one is whether to invite our leader, especially Mr. Nihai, or maybe Miss Ivy, or maybe Mr. Lu Xiaogang, to invite them into our introduction. And then this one you have to, if you want to invite them, we have to include the name inside this management name so that they can receive this OA. And then whether to pick up or drop off of them from the airport or maybe from their own factory, and then what time, and then after that you also have to prepare for the meeting room if they need for meeting room, because some of the clients they came, they want the meeting room, they only want to see the factory because they are in a rush. So for that time maybe we also have to put the information here. And then whether they want a meal or not, lunch or dinner. This one is especially for the VIP lunch or VIP dinner. Then how many people that they need, and if there's any like special remarks like what are they allergic of, and what are their requirements. And then maybe the accommodation booking. This one is for the hotel booking. They came to the Malaysia maybe in the evening, maybe at 3 o'clock, and that one after visit, for surely they want to rest before they go back. So that one we have to book for their hotel first. Okay. Alright, so next is the day of the factory visit. So for this one, first of all, we have to identify the vehicle for all the clients that will be coming to the factory by themselves. So for this one, we have to confirm for the number of cars, how many vehicles that will be coming, and then what are the plates, the number plates. This particular information is very important so that we can sell to the car house to make way for our VIP. Okay, because if not, there are some cases that we do not have this information, and then they are stuck at the guard house for maybe like 20 or 30 minutes. So we don't want that to happen to our customer, because first impression is very important. Okay, and then next would be the face mask. This one is especially for the pandemic crisis, like now I think. And then for this one, we have to make a face mask for them. And then I heard that the new policy for the flow glass factory, we have to prepare face mask before we can come in. So this one is particularly information for as of right now. And then next we have to make an itinerary. So this one is mostly the technical side. So we have to make itinerary, an agenda or schedule, and then put on top of the meeting table so that everyone can see, give out to everyone. And then next will be the business card. So this one, this is actually after they came to the factory. We will bring them to the meeting room, and then after that, we will give out our business card and then introduce ourselves and then introduce themselves. Okay. And then after that, we will start to make a presentation, especially for the background company presentation. And then if they need a quality control, especially for the audit, for certain audit. So this one, we also have to present for the quality control presentation. Okay, and especially for the company introduction, we also have to present our technical infrared test and as well as a temperature change test. Okay, and if they have like their own specific sample, this is also the time that we show them in the meeting room. And for like big sample, we will show them at the end of the factory tour. Okay. Then after we finish at the meeting room, we will go straight to the factory tour. Uh, it's actually recommended to start from the flow glass factory so that we can start from the very beginning of the raw material, and then very beginning of the raw glass production, so that they can see the automation and the quality control automation from the TB flow glass as well. Alright. And then after that, we will send them to our progress, our own battery, so that we can show them all of the process that we did. Okay. There are some important notes that we need to prepare for them, especially for the helmet. So this one we have to know. That's why the number of the customer is very important, so that we can prepare the helmet for each of them. Because helmet is actually is an impression that we actually care for safety, and safety is our priority for this factory. Okay, and also it's also to ensure that the clients that uh, our factory is comfortable. Okay, and then next we also have to care for buggy. So buggy is actually very important to for transportation of the customer between the flow glass and from the meeting room to our factory. Okay, but our buggy we need to ensure that they have battery first. Uh, so that's why we need to know beforehand when the customer will be coming, so that we can prepare for our buggy, charge them and then maintain them. And then lastly, we also have to prepare for the bottle of water. So this bottle of water we usually put at the incoming of the raw materials. So when they start to come to our factory, we will give out our bottle of water. And then after they finish our tour, especially in the packing line, that's also where we put our bottle water, and then we will give out to them. Okay. And then next will be the sample view at the packing line. So this one is especially important for the sample for the customer that want to view sample, because some of the sample they are big sample for BMU and also PMU. Okay, so this is where we put our sample at the end of the packing line, right? And then after they view sample and discuss what kind of coating they want, maybe, or what kind of glass structure they want, we will send them. We will bring them to our meeting room again for final discussion, especially to discuss about the uh, color of the coating, the performance data, and maybe the costing. Okay. And then lastly, we also have to, after we have done the factory visit, we will go to the lobby and do a business photo, right? So this business photo, we will take picture at the lobby with a keeping logo at the back, and this photo will be included in the report that we will do for this particular factory visit. Okay, so everyone understand what I'm saying? Yeah, I take that as a yes. So next would be the sample order. Okay. So for sample order, actually for sample order, we before we make sample order, for particular project, we have to make a glass performance requirement first. We have to confirm what the glass structure that they need, what the glass color that they need, the VLT requirements, SE requirements, and also U value requirements. Alright. So this one is especially important for the sample because we need to know the glass structure is actually depends on the size of the glass itself. Alright. Then the glass color. Right, okay. So for the glass color, sometimes they need like gray color or maybe like a blue color. Okay. For green color, we actually don't have a green color coating right now. So we especially we use maybe a tinted evergreen tinted glass or green colored PVD. Okay. And then for this from this glass color, we will make this is actually how I make a performance data. So from this main coating, I will refer this VLT, especially VLT and SC from this main coating products. Okay. So based on the color, first I will choose the color that they want. For example, that they want gray, so we can only choose gray color. And then from the SC, we will check for the SC. So this particular main coating product is using the standard structure, which is 6 mm plus 12 mm spacer plus 6 mm. Okay. So from SC, then we also see the visible light transmittance as well. So these two particular parameter is important when matching performance. Okay. And then U value is also very important, but it's not that important compared to PLT and SC. But it is very important for when using hard coated glass, because for like single piece glass and or laminated glass, usually the U value is more than 4. But if their requirement is laminated glass but with a U value less than 3, that one we have to include for the hard coat low E glass. Okay. And then sometimes the BLT, we cannot reach that BLT for the specific color. So we have to increase the thickness. And then if we cannot increase the thickness, we can change the clear glass coating on the low iron. But for this one is at the cost of shading coefficient. Because BLT and the shading coefficient is directly related. If we reduce the BLT, the SC will reduce as well. But if we increase BLT, SC also will increase. So BLT and SC is actually directly proportional. Okay. And then so same as BLT, if we reduce SC, you will also reduce the BLT as well. Alright. And U value is a whole another different story. Okay, so this one for the parameter for VLT, if you want to increase VLT, we will have to increase the glass thickness and maybe use a lower iron glass. If you want to decrease VLT, we have to decrease glass thickness or maybe change the clear glass into tinted glass like crystal gray or Euro gray. Okay, and shading coefficient is actually the same principle as VLT because if you want to reduce the SC, we also have to reduce the VLT. Okay, and for U value, if you want to decrease the U value, we can use hardcore low E, for example, especially for laminated glass without the insulating glass. And if we increase the thickness of the glass, we can also reduce the U value. And then for insulating glass, we can actually increase the aluminum spacer thickness. Or if we cannot increase the thickness, we can change the gas into argon gas, right? So this is actually how we match the performance to the data requirement. Okay. And then next, I'm going to talk about the after we match the performance data requirement. Once the customer approve that the performance is following their standard, and then we can start to apply for sample. Okay. To apply sample, we have to use the OA, which is the GS009. And then the sample is actually categorized into two. And then for these two samples, we will use different approach for producing them. Okay, so one we have a small sample, and then we also have a big sample. Okay, and then we also have to consider for the coating plan when making the sample, because for some of the coating like the secondary product, that one might taking a longer time to produce. Okay, right. So this one is the sample application OA. So this is actually using GS009, like I said before. So for this one, the main important point is that for the title, I would really recommend for you to put the which market, and then which project, and also is it a small or a big sample. Okay, the small sample will be all of the sample that are 300 times 300 or less. Okay, so for this one, for the title, I would recommend you, like for example, maybe put a Vietnam, and then with a project name like Pullman, and then a small sample. Okay, because for big sample is actually a more priority. So if there's a big sample inside this OE, I will really prioritize for big sample. Okay, and then next maybe put a project name, what project name that we'll be using for this sample, and then whether the contract has been signed or not, what's the usage of the projects, delivery batches usually is only one for sample, and then what's the customer name that will be receiving the sample. Yeah, this one. Okay, and then we proceed to this one. This one is actually a new procedure. So take note that for this coating series is very important, because for if the coating that we are using is a main products, which is this one, which is all of this coating inside here. This one is the main products. Then please put main products, main here. If the coating is a special coating which is not inside here, especially for the maybe KNG 6437. So that one is a secondary products, right? So that one for all of the secondary products, they need approval from the management, especially maybe Miss Ivy or Mr. Lu. And that one, if we put a secondary here, the OA will automatically will be flowing through Miss Ivy or Mr. Lu for their approval. Okay, but for main products, that one will not be a problem. They will be sending like normal. Okay, so this one take note is very important. And then maybe put a glass type and structure that the sample requested, what coating that they need, the width and the height, all the usual stuff, and then the quantity. Okay, right. And then this one, all right, for big sample, okay, for big sample, we have to know whether the sample is actually a free sample or the charge sample. This one is actually for our finance, right? And then if the sample is a free sample, we actually have to provide the reasons, and then what are the uses of the sample that we'll be producing, okay? And then what are the raw materials that we need, especially maybe a clear glass or a tinted glass, and what kind of grinding, uh, either hand grinding, machine grinding, or polish grinding. The drilling requirements for drillings, hole, and maybe stepping glass. That one we actually need a drawing. So please include drawing inside this OA for drilling, for stepping, and then maybe for a ceramic flip sample application. Okay, can everyone still hear me? I'm not sure if it's hello.
Yes, yes,
We-
can hear you.
Yes, we can hear.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought my internet connection has cut off. Okay, all right. So I guess I proceed, and then we have to know for the temporary requirements. Maybe is it a anneal glass or a tempered glass or a heat strengthened glass? And heat soak requirement. This one, as everyone know, is only for tempered glass. And then for this one, for the PVB or SGP, actually for PVB we have a lot of different brands. So we have to be specific on what kind of PVB that are required. Alright. If there are no requirements, then we can maybe use a domestic PVB. But for special requirements, maybe Toshifu or Solusha. And then for colored PVB, we have to include the code of the colored PVB inside. Okay. And then we also have to know the color of the spacer, maybe black or silver spacer. This one is usually a standard butyl and structural adhesive. Okay. And then include any other requirements, maybe a special label or a label that include the performance data. Okay. And then lastly, this one is very important for the sample delivery. We need to know the recipient of the sample, the phone number, and then the address. These three is very important. Okay. All right. Okay. So next, I'm going to proceed to the difference between small and big sample. Alright, for small samples, it's actually all of the samples, all of the glass that are less than 300 or maybe 300 and times 300 size. For all of these glass are considered as a small sample, alright? And for this small sample, the procedure for producing it is very simple. First, once I receive the GS009, I will update the sample inside the sample table, which is actually a spreadsheet that we are using between the technical and the sample room. This one we will update every day, and then once updated, the sample room people will view this sample order, and then they will start to make it, right? And if there's like any problem, especially for the PVB, like what code that they need for colored PVB, this one they will be in contact with the technical, and then we will contact the sales person for confirmation. Okay, and once finished, they will my colleague Lou will deliver it. So the for small sample procedure is very simple. Next one is the big sample. This one is actually our priority because the production time could be very long, and then this one is usually urgent for PMU or PMU. Okay. All right. So from the GS009, the previous OA, for big sample, we must the salesperson must include the order information list, right? Because this order information list is very important for production, and without this order information list, we cannot proceed for production. Okay, and then include any drawing for special requirements, especially holes, stepping glass, and maybe a ceramic frit. And then maybe include PI or a pro forma invoice for charge sample. This one is very important for our for finance and for sales admin. Okay. Alright, so this is actually the procedure for the big sample. This one is what our technical side do. So once we receive the GS009, we will process the the OA using the order information list, and then we will make another OA using the GS004 sample application, and then once I have processed this, I will need a approval maybe from the head of the department, Mr. Yang, and also the approval from Mr. Shi Chuan. Okay, once I get those two approval, then the sample can be processed. The order I will send them to sales admin. Okay, so actually this is also the information that you need to have before we can start producing. The project name for this sample application and also the customer details information. For some of the, because for some project they are very new and the customer is also new. So this one we have to know the customer details so that we can put them in NC before we start producing. Okay, so this one Mabel or Adina will be in contact with you to get the customer details. Okay, and then after they finish record all of these details inside NC, they will send the process order to the production planning department. Okay, and production planning, this is when they will plan for the, especially for the coating plan, and then they will make work order. Okay, and then after they finish making work order, Angel will bring this work order and then bring them to the production floor, right? And then for all of the big sample, they are actually using a red process card, right? This red process card means that the order is very urgent. Okay, and then once the production floor receive it, then they will start to cut, right? So this whole process actually for big sample uh, they normally needs 2 days, right? One day in the technical and sales admin side, and then one day in the production and planning side before they can start to cut. Okay, so 2 days and then before they cut. So that's why if this big sample is very urgent, so you have to provide all of this information, and then this project name and customer details. If this information is provided, then maybe the sales admin, the production planning can process this for one day, which means that we can expedite this process. Right? So this particular information is very important if the big sample is very urgent for you guys. Right? And then okay, so this is actually the order information list that are very important for the big sample. Okay, so we have to know the customer name, the project name, and then what are the glass structure. I think this one has been presented by Mr. Feng yesterday, but I guess I'll proceed. So we need like what kind of glass that we need, the thickness and the maybe heat strengthened or tempered. And then this one, if the glass is regular or irregular, stepping or hole. This one, please include drawing as well for the production to use. And then maybe the type of grinding. And then for laminated glass, we have to include the PVB. So if the PVB, there's no requirement, maybe like there's no specific requirement on which brand, then you can use no requirement. Okay. And then maybe for logo, but keep in mind that logo is can only be used on tempered or heat strengthened glass. Okay. For logo, actually, I want to talk a bit about logo because right now our company, our factory, they are using only standard logo. Okay, so we actually have two different kinds of different markets. We have Malaysian markets and overseas market. All right. Okay, so for Malaysian market, we only use logo, company logo, sorry, company logo and a serial logo. Okay, and then for non-Malaysian, we only use company logo without serial logo, right? And then we also have company standard margin here. I think we are using 25 by 25 margin with wait, I think it will be stated on the information list. Okay, so this one is the company standard. Uh, most for all of the new sample order, we have to follow the production will follow this company standard. All right. So you have to tell our customer for this one. And then next maybe the spacer like they need for silver or black spacer, and if we use argon gas, we have to fill up here. All right. And then the protective film. Usually for protective film, we have to charge them for extra. And then on which surface that they need, maybe for on the surface 1 and surface 4. And then what kind of packing, where to delivery, and then lastly if there's any special process, right? And then after you have done all of this information, include the what, when the delivery date that you need, and then your name and signature. Okay, right? Is that understood? So I think that's it. Any question? Hello, everyone? Is there any question, or if there is no question, I guess Lou, you're up.
Hi, everybody. And Ifan is our in our department. He's really good English. I think if especially for the English speak people, if you have any question about PD, any question about sample, we can ask. And especially if you one big thing is if you get a tender, how you use the customer's spec to match our low E film in this kind of question, you can ask Ifan if you have any question. Please ask now.
Yeah. So any question, especially for the performance data, customer visit or sample order. So I'm just gonna, yes.
I want to say is about the sample application. I hope every sales office can control it very smartly because our purpose is not to control, but is to control it properly. I mean, the the leader of the sales office will need to take this responsibility because for some our new staff, of course, they don't have some knowledge and or they don't have some enough background about this industry. So maybe they will make some misjudgment about the requirement about customer or such as the color, the glass proposal, or maybe the glass quantity, such as if just for first time to get contact customer or with the architect, they required some glass. So what's the proposal? What's the sample we needed to apply to them? I saw is the most case is happen is we don't know what they really need or we don't know what we just the customer need a sample so we apply and at least the quantity is 3 pieces. But I don't think it's necessary because For my understanding, only for sealing, I mean for sample approval, and the last stage maybe need a 3 or 4 because every part need one sample to control, right? But if only for one side for color review or to show them the performance data, most of the time this time is only need one piece, why 3 pieces, right? It's just a waste. But if really sometimes they say, oh, we need a two consultant one, architect one, maybe only one, so we need a 3 at the beginning. This is okay. It's, I mean, if it's reasonable, it's no problem. If you need us 10 pieces, we can give. But I hope the sales manager, I mean, the leader of the sales office, you can take this responsibility and explain to your staff or to check out the real requirement and we once we apply a sample we need to make sure the color is the customer needed, the performance data is right. Don't sometimes it happens is like already applied but the proposal is wrong, but we still ongoing. Factory is still ongoing to produce the wrong sample. So, I mean, before do the sense, we need to make clearly about the technical, the data, the requirement, the quantity, or the everything. You just check with yourself for such and for KL office. Every time I will ask them what's this project why you apply for KNG, whatever, right? You listen to them to explain to you, so you can make a decision. They do a right proposal, or they are wrong, or you can know the quantity is enough or not enough. To just to help them from some detail sense. Okay, this is my suggestion on sample. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. I think Miss Iris said very right, and I see sometimes, most of the time, people, you guys apply 3 or 4, sometimes more. So it's a waste. It's a waste. In the next time, in the future, our department also will be seriously, especially now. We are really serious for the expressway. So you cannot, every time you need the express, you need to write a OA. So especially now, and we will be serious in the future. I think most of you guys just for safety thinking. You may think, oh, I apply two. If one is broken, I still have another. But this is, yeah, this is almost impossible. Almost impossible. So just think about 3 times if you apply for a sample. If you really need 3, yeah, you write a reason. We will give it. If you have no reason, we just give you 1. Is that okay? So, any question about sample?
因为现在我看大家就默认的，只要一申请至少3片，就默认的
对
大家都不管客户的需求，就觉得我就该申请3片是至少起码的。然后我
对
就觉得，如果客户他要求5片是合理的，5片也可以。但是如果说就是说都是不合理的，那一片就一片，做的也快，记得也快，收到的也快，给的也快，对不对？就是说大家不要形成一个固定的默认的一个模式，因为形成那种的话就很难改变。关注的主任一定要把这个责任给担当起来，这也是教他们很好的去辨别客户的真实需求，尤其是颜色、方案、参数、模细申请对了没？别都说方案都打错了，还在那里申请给到人家客户，人家客户也会只会觉得，哎，你这个东西给的不符合、不专业，对吧？所以我们做事就要提高成功率，就是在这些所有的细节去提高成功率。
而且我们那个原则上就是同一个配置，就是申请的申请不能超过3个模系，就是也要注意一下，就是太多了也没有意义。
对啊，这个就涉及到做方案了，反正后面再讲吧。涉及到做方案，一个项目但是搞了10多种模式，那一看这个方案明显是有问题的嘛，对不对？反正这个又是另外一个话题了。后面我们如果有时间，可以挨着每一个把日常工作当中遇到的，好的不好的都可以拿出来讲，大家一起share，一起提高。
那一凡，are you finished?
Hello, yes. I think I want to show you one more thing, one more stuff.
All right.
This one is actually for performance data application. So okay, so this one is actually an SOP that Mr. Jiang wants me to make, but this one is it's not a real SOP yet because we don't have approval from management yet to uh, verify this SOP. But no matter the content is the one that is important. So for this one is actually the performance data application. Okay. So for performance data, actually the first one, performance data can only be calculated and issued by technical department staff, and then will be approved by technical head of department, which is currently Mr. Jiang, and includes the department stamp. This one. Once we have this one and this one, then this performance data document is legit. Okay. And then all the performance data sheet will be recorded and collected by technical department. This is for traceability and class proposal improvement. Okay. And this one is actually important for the sales side because this one all of the performance data application that is applied must be sent to the technical department with Excel or spreadsheet file format. Okay, and then the performance data requester is responsible to provide related information, especially for this 4 information. Okay, so for performance data sheet, we actually need to know the customer name, the project name, and also the date of the request. And then lastly, for the name of the spreadsheet file, it is actually important to follow this format. Okay, we are following the PDS and then which market it is, which project name this performance data is used, and then which date. Okay, so this one is very important because it's for allow easier traceability, right? So it's easier for us to trace for this performance data if the sample has been made or maybe after 2 or 3 months. Okay. And then next would be the all right. This one is actually important for the technical department. Okay. All right. So for technical department, actually the official documents will be in PDF. But before that, our technical will calculate the data. And then first one we will include document additional header. This one is actually is the date, the sender, which is the one that calculate, and then the requester. Okay. And then the second one will be the name of the person that is calculating the performance data. And then next will be if the Mr. Jiang or the head of the technical department approve, we will include the technical manager signature and also the technical department official stamp. Okay. And then once this data sheet is complete, we will convert the file into PDF format and then give out to the requester. So once the performance data sheet is in PDF format, then this data sheet it can be used, it's ready to be used. Okay. And then lastly, right now this is actually our procedure right now. We will set up a WeChat group for performance data calculation. And then any information related to the project will be discussed in this group. Okay, all of the spec requirement and data structure is the focus of the discussion. And then to maintain confidentiality, the WeChat group will only invite one single salesperson related to the performance data. Right? And then after the performance data is finished, it is actually recommended or after the PDF format is provided, it is recommended that the salesperson to immediately move out of the WeChat group to allow for other salesperson performance data inquiries. Okay, any question? Okay.
Regarding your performance data providing, you said only one office, one person to get contact with your site. This one, this proposal or this or the office is okay, or you have some other suggestion you can discuss. If it's if all the office think that this one is workable, then no problem. We just do like this. Mm.
Any office
So
question?
is everyone okay with this?
Did you do before like this?
Come again?
I mean, uh, as you described, one person, one office, one person to get all the project performance data from technical department, and they dispatch to some other salesman. This way, did you try before?
This one actually right now we are using we only invite the salesperson that is involved to that specific project. And then once they finish, they can move out of the group. And then the other salesmen that request for performance data can be invited so that we can discuss uh, thoroughly about the performance data that they need. Like that.
薛总，这个方法我们已经在用了大概有2周了吧，应该。
怎么样嘛？
就是可能也有一些抱怨，就觉得太慢了，可能要排队嘛，one by one。
One by one, yes.
是要排队，但是就是说，现在你们做参数的有哪些人？你们要分一下，比如说哪些人对哪些办事处，这样会不会提高效率一点？
我也觉得意思是分开办事处比较好一点，然后那个蒋工意思说每一个参数都要在这个群里出，也不要分，然后我就这样弄的。
你们先就是说哪个办事处，就是说只要办事处有那个参数需求就给他，接下来谁来做这个，谁来做这个，是这样子吗？
喂，谁的这么吵？哎，薛总您说，哎，刚才吵的没听到您说。
你们现在做这个是怎么个方式呢？就是说，如果你们没有分谁对谁哪个办事处的话，就是说，所有的办事处的那个，出参数的申请给过来以后，你们自己内部再分，是这样子吗？
对，谁有空谁做，现在是这样子的。
谁有空谁做，
对。
其他办事处反响怎么样呢？
收到一些抱怨，反正这个确实这个确实是慢的。
那你们是有3个会出参数嘛？你一凡、蒋宇健3个会出嘛？对不对？
一般都是我跟一凡2个人出。
一般2个人出，2个人出也行啊。我是觉得你们可以稍微分一下，当然如果分了，如果那个人他在忙的话，可以让另外一个人就出，不是说完全固定的这个市场的那个参数，另外一个市场就不能出。但是就是说，因为蒋宇健在吗？蒋工，
蒋公子刚退出去了。
你们其他办事处自己觉得呢？因为我是觉得的话，这个东西就是说，一个人如果他稍微固定的，比如说做马来西亚、做新加坡，他会对这个市场的标书会非常熟，对这个市场喜欢的颜色，甚至玻璃方案，他也会比较熟。比较熟的话，他做起来就会做得更专业一些。但是如果不做一些稍微一些界定的话，就是一会儿一帆来做新加坡，一会儿一帆又要去做泰国，然后一会儿一帆又要去做越南，就反正也我是觉得他会不会就会搞得不是很清楚每个市场的需求了。 就会做的，会
5% 出对，现在去的
在做这个参数。
Chanel 了，
我知道啊。
像我们也拿了样板去，是吧？
对，薛总，我也觉得是这样的，因为我觉得这个每一个项目最好还是就是我们深入沟通一下，深入了解一下客户的这个真实需求。就是现在的话，这个现状就是大家甩一个参数需求过来，然后我们就是你说有时候甩给我了，有时候甩给一凡了，就也没有就是说是吧，就是没有那个深入的了解这个客户的需求，就只是一个算一下而已。
我觉得要画一下，要画一下的。
蒋工进来了。
那个出参数啊，我觉得还是让他们画一下那个市场，就稍微画一下，比如说一个人负责哪几个市场，一个人负责哪几个市场，这样子的话，他会更加熟悉这个市场的业务，熟悉这个市场的参数。如果说混搭，他对这个市场或者说对某一个项目，他的研究的那个参数要求研究的不够深入。不够深入的话，如果销售人员也不去研究的话，就会造成一整条线全部都是混乱的，或者说迷迷糊糊的在出这个参数。你觉得呢？因为刚刚我听这个一凡介绍说是混在一起的，就是所有销售参数的参数给过来，谁有空谁就做。当然你可以说这样分了，有可能这个人万一去今天忙一个工厂内的接待，这个事情很忙，对吧？有的时候出参数他也不在于急那么半天，如果实在是这个人预计他这半天或者这一天都会忙的话，你们这边还可以协调，这个新加坡有很多的参数要出，就是说让那个非负责新加坡的那个人出一下，也不是不可以，也是可以，就是说内部可以协调来帮忙做这个事情，但是主要的还是要分一下，我认为是比较好一点的。
可以啊。
你们当时混在一起是什么原因呢？是什么想法啊？
因为不存在混不混，就是也没有混，因为参数这个东西，实际上跟项目，我理解跟项目，除非是特别大的项目，跟项目是分开的，就是说不管哪个项目算参数，实际上它就只是计算一个东西，但出方案其实跟算参数其实是两个概念。
那比如说一个项目，它有的时候会来回的更改方案，持续好几个月，在这几个月里面是会有不同的技术人员去做这个参数吗？还是怎么着？
实际上改这个方案，那是涉及到另外一个问题，是改方案的问题。因为计算的话，只是计算那个动作，而且在一个群里面的话，不管谁算的参数，所有的都会归结到一份内里，都会有它保存起来。这个群是这样的目的。因为之前就是很乱，就是一会儿找这个算，一会儿找那个算，然后各存各的，都不知道到底就是汇总在哪里。所以说现在就是统一汇总在一番那里，就那个群里面嘛。为什么说专门拿一个群呢？就是所有的文件，包括星期六啊这些，只要是算了的，那都要把它归结到一番的电脑上。所以说他每一个项目出了几次参数，他一定是知道的，因为打开那个文件夹之后就知道他有没有更新过几次。
我觉得你这个要有几是可以的，就是说你可以安排一个人来汇总，比如说王超出了，你出了，都汇总到一凡那里去汇总，没有问题。但是我觉得你这个市场还是稍微要划分一下，或者说隔一段时间让他们交换一下也行。你说为了锻炼大家对各个市场的需求的了解，那比如说隔几个月换一下也行，但是不要一直都不固定。尤其是一个项目，如果有哪一个人在出去，最好一直由他出，除非是这个人他有可能会在这个项目当中有一些事情有一点解决不了，然后拿出来大家在一起探讨，或者说再由其他人进一步的加入去做这个事情。但是还是就是说要比较明确的有一个对的 就是说谁对谁，这样子也不会混啊。他怎么会？比如说你家说泰国办是谁，主要是谁在说？你们不说只有一个人吗？就说主要，就说在这个主要的这个人他能够做得下来这个情况下，就不用再去找那个另外一个人的话，我觉得这样子他就不会乱找啊，他肯定是首先找这个人的。我觉得，然后这个人他比如说负责三个市场的参数，他要把每一个市场弄一个文件夹，这个文件夹里面包括所有的项目，他会来回找项目是怎么回事的嘛，对不对？啊，
可以，我没意见，
对啊。然后你这种，这个很简单，你要求谁出了什么参数都汇总给一凡那边就行了嘛。
可以。
你们
那我们下来分一下吧，薛总。
对，你自己想一下看看。我觉得这样子，他办事处他也很明确，他知道哦，我这个市场主要是一凡在给我做参数，那我有一次我首先跟一凡讨论一下，或者一凡今天真的不在，或者这几天都不在，需要让其他的技术人员再帮忙，这个又是另外一回事。得先有一个主要的，再有一个次要的每个市场，这样销售办事处它也不会乱掉。他也不会说一会儿找一凡，一会儿找王超，对，你试一下这样子，
可以，我们下来分一下吧，薛总。
对啊，分一下，所以我刚刚就问你，目前这样做的话，销售办事处有没有什么，也就是说感想，或者说他们觉得，但他们也没说什么东西，估计也都还没搞明白是什么事情。
实际上，薛总的意思就是我也明白，实际上你出这个参数就代表什么呢？代表就是你是要follow这个项目的这个方案。这个确实应该说可能之前没做到，只是简单的一个就是计算的一个问题啊。但实际上核心的话这个王超或者阿路跟一凡也翻译一下吧，翻译一下吧。实际上最终的目的是要follow这个项目的这个方案并不是就是简单的一个计算工作这其实是出参数有两部分这一部分是隐藏在里面的工作有些大项目的话，就基本上出的哪一种方案我都会记得，但是可能有一些项目没关注到
对啊。
所以说每个人都要就是要清楚这个项目它的这个方案是吧？来龙去脉，从开始到后面，要有一个人就是整个贯通，要非常清楚。
要非常清楚，甚至有的时候有必要，他有可能就会因为一些事情，他要去到前方。那去到前方，他得知道这个之前发生了什么呀？之前他这个参数有过变更，有的时候有过更改，这个就是一个 whole story，他得懂啊。这个就是说销售办事处的人，首先我要求他们要会做这个参数方案。那换句话说，你们这个岗位，先不管销售办事处的人的话，你们自己也得把这个东西打准，把这个项目的要求打准，参数打准。就如果说前后方都打准，我相信这个成功率会很高。退万步说，万一哪一个，比如说一线的没打准，至少后面你们还可以把关，对吧？就双方互相的一个东西，都得要去研究这个是怎么一回事。但是主要责任我觉得还是在一线办事处，这个方案对不对？就是说技术部他更承担的更多的一点，就是说找参数这个动作。如果说这个人他的技术越来越好，他有可能会提供一些更多的参数方案的那个 idea 在里面。但是更多的责任是在一线办事处。
可以，薛总，我们下来分一下
好吧。
好，阿路 ，your turn。
好的。 Hello.
可以听到，可以听到。
Okay, before this, I have shared my slides into the group. So you all may refer to the slides or meanwhile look at my computer here. So I would like to discuss about samples, dispatch, and delivery. So we'll be into 4 main parts. Before that, I wanted to interrupt regarding amendment on big sample. So when it comes to packaging and dispatch and delivery, will be in 4 parts. The first part is regarding packaging, and then the OA flow, before dispatch and after dispatch. So as for amendment on the big sample, so you need to use GX005. Before you run for the amendment, please kindly refer to me. So I would like to check is it started or not yet start. Because once proceed for cutting, all this will incur loss. So may go for this GX005 if you insist to go for amendment. And this flow will flow into the production. So that means whoever in charge will be looking at the flow. So you please forward the flow to me and Ifan because we are not in the flow. Anyhow, when we go for delivery, we need to know the structure, need to know how many pieces we amended. So you please forward to me and Ifan when you go through GX005. Okay, now it comes to samples packaging. So there are 2 types. First is regarding small samples. We will use sample boxes for 300 and 300 or even 100 times 150. As for big samples, for Malaysia market, we will follow the request. It will be either in metal rack or wooden case. However, this not really every time is able to follow, especially when the glass is too big or in the size is jumbo. So all this will bring into discussion. As for metal racks, salesperson please in charge to return the metal rack to the factory. As for point number 3, if there is any separate packaging, for example, you have placed 20 pieces and then you want to separate into 5 boxes. So you please state clearly in the OA when you place the big sample order. As for sea freight, will be totally in wooden case packaging. The same for air freight. So you please kindly confirm which type of delivery method suits you because all these will affect the packaging method. So this is to make sure you please take it down clearly into your OA to avoid unboxing and repackaging. Especially when there is customers that would like to plan to have customer visit or factory visit, you please take it down. Jot down into the OA so that we can take note when finished fabricating, we will put it aside and prepare for you to come over to look at the sample. So to avoid from unboxing and repackaging. Okay, for first part, any problem? If don't have any problem, then we will proceed into second part, whereby the samples dispatch. So for part number 1, special dispatch flow, GX007. So areas which include the use of this flow is regarding charge samples. So for anything related to charges, for example, payment or check received, so you please go for this flow if you insist you want to deliver this big sample. Because once payment, there is any issue on the payment, so you please go for this flow so that all the leaders and management team can approve and then allow for delivery of the samples. As for point number 2, for free flow includes trucks only for samples delivery. That means without any stock, only the truck is fully for samples delivery. You please go for flow ZY001. Areas which are local delivery or even neighboring countries road transport, for example, Thailand or Singapore. So in order to have this flow, first is the requester, and then regional sales office manager, then will be Mr. Jiang, Miss Ivy, and last is me, I'm the executor. So any problem for part number 2?
No.
If don't have, then we go to part number 3. So this is regarding sample dispatch and delivery for before. That means before the samples being dispatched, it's still in the factory. So these are the areas we need to pay attention in. The first is each of the sales office kindly allocate one person to in charge for samples receive and arrangement. Because from my side, I'm the one who in charge of dispatch. From your side is the one who in charge will receive. So each of the sales office kindly allocate one person to in charge of all these things. Point number 2 is this is a brief introduction regarding how is the big samples delivery flow. When samples are ready to dispatch, so warehouse will go for stock in, and then for me, I will prepare the necessary documents and even prepare samples loading list to give to warehouse. And then finance approve for delivery. At this part, finance, they will look for the payment term, and then is it charge samples, and then is it the payment they receive, or all the things regarding payment. So the next part will be warehouse will proceed for loading and to look for all the samples, to look for the location, and then to go for loading. Finally, warehouse will go for stock out and to prepare delivery order. So for point number 3, in order to have smooth delivery, so here is a little bit request for the person in charge. As for local market, Malaysia, we need to clearly know who is the receiver, the name and the phone number. As for local and overseas, highly include receiver's company name, address, and even postcode. So here comes to the point, it's a bit complicated. Samples follow stock for road transport, or fully samples for road transport, which involves custom clearance. This means that, for example, you have a stock going out, and then you want to put samples together to follow the stock together to go up. Or the second condition is only samples for the whole road transport to go up, for example, to go to Singapore or to go to Thailand, which involves custom clearance. So for this, especially when there is a mixture of stock and samples, please tell which drop point you allocate. For example, samples is the first drop point, or stock is the first drop point, and then which one is the second drop point. And which party pays for tax and duty, GST, or even permit charges. Either VCS Eco will pay it, or customer will pay it, or any parties which involves. So any question for part A? If you don't have questions, then we go for part B. So for part B, for areas which include into report to custom. So there is an Excel. I have uploaded the Excel form. Kindly refer the Excel, for example, and we suggest you inform us 1 week once on every Monday. Before we go to the Excel, we come into here, the 2 points here, especially for those which involves custom clearance. So you please inform a few days earlier, because we need to arrange for booking of containers or even booking of shipment, and then we need to negotiate for the shipment date, because all these involve charges and the shipment schedule. So the most important is go for negotiate at earlier time. And here is the internal part, whereby we allocate the time in this way. For example, your stock or your samples want to go for loading on Friday, or for example, your samples need to follow stock to go for loading on Friday. And then Thursday, we will proceed to document submission. At this point, we will proceed to document submission to the custom. And then 2 days before, which is Wednesday, we need both parties to confirm for invoice and packing. Why we need confirmation? Because we need to make sure whatever is sent to you, you are able to receive. So I'm the part who prepare for you, and then you are the part who will go for confirmation. Is it really you accept in this way? Okay, so now we want to go into Excel. I will change my screen into Excel. I would like to ask, can you all view my Excel here? Hello. Are you all with me? I'm now in the Excel here. Excel file here.
You cannot
Okay.
see Excel.
Cannot see. Okay.
Only see the PowerPoint.
Okay, wait lah. Excel. The view at the Excel now.
Yes, yes.
Left and right sheets. So now I discuss about left hand side sheets. Okay, this is regarding samples follow stock for delivery. For any big or small samples to follow stock, here is the Excel provided to you. First is regarding you are from which office and then the person in charge name. So I just said before, one person from each region sales office, please allocate one person to be in charge. And then the second point is regarding your samples need to send to where, which country and which port. For example, Korea, you have 3 ports or 2 ports. You tell me which port you want to go. And then the third point is regarding loading time. For example, samples to follow your stock. When is the loading time for your stock? I need to know so that I can prepare my samples and push it aside so that can together be loaded inside. And then what's your stock project name as a double confirmation? Okay. And which are the samples, which project name you want to go together with your stock? And what's the shipping term? This will assist in my invoice and packing list preparation. Is it your samples needs to include insurance coverage? Yes or no? And then is your samples need certificate of origin? For example, Form D, or for example, Taiwan, you will COO. And then your bill of lading, is it TEDx release or you need the original copy? And the last 2 parts, which involves only Thailand and Singapore, which party who pays for the tax and duty or even GST? And the last part will be only Singapore involved, which party pay for CCP, that means the permit. Okay, so this part is regarding samples follow stock for delivery. Now I would like to go to the second sheet, which is here. Only samples involved for delivery, only samples. Before that, any shipments which involves air freight, please go for OA to get approval from MD, Managing Director. So now we go into Excel here. The first part is still the same, sales office and who is the person in charge. And then your samples need to send to which country and which port. And your requested shipping date. This will come into a negotiation because not every day you have the shipment ready for you. So we need to negotiate for the shipping date. And which are the samples project name which involved in this shipment. The next would be which kind of transport you prefer. Is it sea, road, or even flight? So the shipping term, CIF, FOB, DDP, DAP, X-Works, and etc. Since this is the samples fully for shipment, so you need to tell me which type of containers you need. For example, 20 GP, 40 high cube, or even CFS. Is it in insurance? How about the certificate of origin? Do you need it? And the bill of lading. So the same for the last 2 parts. So only GST, tax, duties, which involves Thailand and Singapore, and even for the last part, CCP permit, which includes Singapore. Okay, so now I would like to back to my PPT. My PPT. A moment, please. I need to shift to my PPT now. Okay, can you all view my PPT at this moment? Hi. Hello.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So this is the email we have received from our management or even from our HR team. For regarding samples, you please use the third flow here. Okay. Technical department, please use this for regarding samples. So you are the requester, and then your manager, your head of department, and then sales GM, which is Miss Ivy, and then Mr. Lin Hai, admin Erin, and me together. Okay, so for this flow, you'll be involved all the shipments for CS Eco to bear the freight charges. For this, you need to use ZY001. Okay, now comes to after dispatch. Once you have finished, once your cargo have been released, after dispatch, what are the things that you and me that needs to be done? So the first is regarding confirmation of documentation by both parties. That means you and me. For example, if you request for sea shipment, sure you have bill of lading. If your customers request for certificate of origin, for example, Form D or COO, these two things will be involved in this part. So I will request to have these documents and then we'll provide to you. You please make sure you get confirmation from your customers to know that whether these two documents are eligible and can be used for custom clearance. Okay? Once these things is done, I will give one copy to you. So you please keep it by yourself. So the person in charge need to keep it by yourself for all the documents I have provided to you. So that's all. So any problem? Any questions at this moment? So if anyone has any questions, you may please raise your questions now. If no questions, I would like to pass the ball back to Mr. Ben.
Indonesia office. I see you guys have a lot of sample questions in the Indonesia group. Do you need to share with? Do you need any questions now?
Yes, Miss Lu, I want to ask you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Miss Lu, how long it takes usually you make the Form D, and actually how the rules?
Okay, as for Form D, I would like to say, for example, like CIF or even DDP, that means we call do all the parts until the cargo delivered to your place. Okay, I will take this as a first example. For example, if you are the one who provide all the shipment until the cargo reach to your place, CIF or DDP. So I will ask my forwarder to prepare for Form D, and then I will get the Form D and then confirmation from your side. Once you say, okay, agree, this thing, everything information is correct, you can proceed. And then I will ask my forwarder to submit to custom. So when submit to custom, you need to depend on custom speed. Normally, I will say normally, within working days, you take around 3 to 4 days. This is a normal speed. However, if, for example, now we have restriction in movement, or even like too many people request for Form D. For example, now is the time where all the cargo sucks. You cannot go. So the moment we go for opening and we start for the work, so all this documentation will be in a lump sum reach to our custom. So this might cause a delay in time because they also need manpower to check, to confirm, and to endorsement. So I will say normally, it will take about 3 to 4 days. However, this is depends on the speed of the custom to expedite on this. Once they have done, then they will feedback to the forwarder will feedback to me, and then I will provide to you.
Okay.
This is the first condition, CIF or DDP. So for the second condition is ex work. For example, now your Grand Hyatt, This is the second condition, as well. That means your forwarder do everything. We are the one who just prepare the cargo for you, and then you are the one who come over to collect all these things. So it will still be the same thing. However, one more party involved is a forwarder. That's all. So
Maybe is my forwarder from Malaysia or
Form D will be provided from the countries which makes up the cargo. For example, Malaysia, CS Eco, who fabricate the gas. Okay, so we provided from us the Form D, and then at the same time, you need to confirm whether the Form D information suitable for you for usage.
okay, thanks.
So any more questions?
Anybody else?
Hello. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah. Just want to know. Can you hear me? Hello.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just want to know. In some of the cases, like Indonesia, they are very urgent. So possible that forwarder will apply the Form D by pre-exportation.
Only Form D will be in original copy. That means in hard copy, and then we need to deliver to you. So because of the restriction in movement, so even custom also they work at home and work online, so they will provide a number at this point. However, when this restriction is ended, so they will back to the original copy.
The Form D is applied by the forwarder or the custom.
Forwarder help us to apply and then submit to custom.
Yeah, so what I mean is that forwarder can apply the pre-exportation for the Form D, which means that before the vessel depart, they can apply the Form D to the MIDI first.
This I'm not too sure if they are going to go for it, because anyhow we need to submit invoice and packing list for their reference also, and then they need airway bill as a reference also. Once they need airway bill or even all those BL, so I believe your cargo need to go first, then only you can go for Form D, I believe.
But pre-exportation doesn't need the K2 or BL, right? Because I think 2 years ago, MIDI already announced the shipper can apply pre-exportation, which means only submit the invoice packing list, then you can apply. Just after you get the K2 and BL, then you need to submit the both document after that. Did you all have this type of arrangement before?
So far, I do not arrange for this and then do not try for this before. And then, but there is a case whereby at this moment, Indonesia brand hired. So the things already go up. I have submitted invoice and packing list. And then their forwarder provide me BL. They said, every bill, they said we need this to apply for Form D. And then custom query, they said they need K2 also. So we need to attach the K2 as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe if let's after that maybe can ask forwarder can check whether they can apply or not, because I think this will be the advantage if there is some urgent matter for the shipment. This will be the advantage for the CS Eco. My idea.
Yeah, this we will ask the forwarder, but anyhow, we also need to respect how the custom they are going to to settle all these things.
Okay.
So anyone with questions? Anyone?
Any question? Because we have the new policy for the sample sent. So if you have any question, you can ask now.
我插一句，那个阿路，那每个办事处把他们的这个对接人确定了没有？新加坡是有。
现在还没有得到答复，我相信这个私底下还是可以解决的。
今天真 今天之内就必须要定下来了，这个很简单，这个必须要
好的
定下来。你定下来，这个人才会去关注这个事，他才会形成一种通路，要不然就不确定，是吧？这个是班组主任必须要把这个强行任命下来的，不管是什么类其他的工作，这个必须要有一个对接人的，必须要有一个要不然的话
好的
都找不到谁负责，找不到谁负责啊。
好的，我也会在微信群里面提醒大家一下。
这个今天要落实下来，今天要落实下来，这个才正好，因
这个
为之前的话可能都非常的零散，非常零散，是吧？一会儿是这个人，一会儿那个人，那现在规定下来一个人之后，这个人，因为你熟练了之后，是吧？你就对业务熟悉，然后就不容易出错，这样长期的做一个事情就非常熟练，就非常好，然后懂，老是不停的换人啊，那些可能又会出现另外的问题，就衔接就不顺畅啊。今天一定要定下来，先把人定下来，然后再说事儿啊。OK，好。
那个办事处主任都在，你要不长工要不现在就定下来，让他们现在就，这也不是个难事儿。各办事处主任，蒋工刚才说的这个事儿，确定一下喽，现在也有时间，好不好？
就今天下午吧，今天下午人员的这种内容，涉及到他们在跟的项目啊这些，哪些人有这个多余的精力，或者说他们也要沟通一下谁更适合做这个事啊，这个一定要定下来的啊。同时的话，像新加坡呀那些，是吧？这个盛主任这边的这个精力啊那些要解放出来，要解放出来，就下面的人可以把这个，是吧？把这个事情给顶起来的话，就是要少好多麻烦，就非常清楚啊，就尽量以后都要报表化，就非常清楚。一拿出来这张表上什么都有，但这张表上一张表容易，但是要完成这张表，其实之间的沟通是需要非常多的，需要非常多。这个人需要有一些就是说除项目之外的一些富裕时间的啊，这个之前安排下午吧，下午我们把这个事定下来，好吧？下午培训完，那个五六点吧，把这个事定下来。啊，
好的，好的。那大家有没有什么问题啦？薛总，那个关于那个客户接待，就是今天上午也一凡有讲到一些，我想这个大多数的这个接待应该您都参与了，就是要不要您在这边分享一点的？
客户接待的话，现在目前来说，so far we do the factory visits. I think improve a lot. Firstly, we stepped the guideline, so this is very good, and I hope continue. And for others, for one thing is, I hope everyone to be seriously for factory visit. Firstly, from the sales office as well for the factory. The basic one is low casual clothes, uh, because we are representative for keeping to show to the impression for the customer. So we need to be very serious about this one. And the meeting room should be prepared well, and also the 哎，王超，你有准备那些？就是你在客户接待方面，你不是还做了一个提高？就是你有准备一些那个什么东西是吗？是那样子吗？
Yeah, I prepare two things. One is the customer visit invitation, the paper one, and another is customer visit gift, pen driver, and which have our logo. Yeah，就是两个东西，一个邀请函，一个礼物 U 盘。
So every time we go to the factory, because regarding this one, I also discuss with Ifan a lot for the process. So I hope every time, if no special case, we just follow the standard one. But everyone should be serious about the standard process. every detail should be serious, because it's really a good chance to invite them to our factory. It's just a few hours. We need to be professional for our talking, for our preparation, for our clothes and dressing. That is also, I always think the first outside the impression is very important to the customer. The other department, I don't limit it, but for us, for sales and the technical department, if today you will meet the customer, you need to be professional. Everything. As real, the preparation is the more is about to prepare what the customer care about. I think the sales office could be discussed more with the technical department to prepare the main purpose. If they have some project, I suggest to prepare the sample to them. I mean, in factory visit, we need to have a purpose in our head. You need to know what's this today's purpose. It's not only a factory visit. What's your sales real purpose to the customer? You need to push it. I mean, and also you need to push. You need to guide the customer to follow your speed, follow your schedule. To such as maybe they have some idea about the glass proposal or about the cooperation, so you will find a chance to control the whole visit and to find a chance to talk with them to start the topic. It's not only like just guide them to watching and then send them go back. I hope everyone do it very smartly. 我经常说一个话，就是你们要有一颗签单的心。我们做任何事情都是围绕着签单去做的，客户考察，或者说做其他的在办事处做的其他的事情，任何事情 our final target is sign the contract, get the project. This is our final purpose. So all this process is just a work, a step to the final goals. So I hope every sales can think always about this. Okay. I encourage to communicate with the factory team, especially the technical team, to before the factory visit to discuss more, think more what needed to be prepared. Maybe they will discuss about the sample, discuss about the glass. So you ask them to prepare. Just maybe, but we need to stand by everything. Yeah, don't take chance. Yeah, we need to do 200% for the preparation for everything about this customer, what they like, what they are caring about. So we do it, and in factory we guide them to show it. We trying to get a chance to show to them. I mean, you need to control the whole factory visit, to think about it. Yeah, this is what my principle.
Yeah, all right. And as we said, I will say customer visit is a very good chance for us to show our ability, show our brand, show our people. So we all need to make full preparation. I just add one more thing. And when you feel when you run the OA for customer visit, you better write all the like the customer schedule, like which flight they take, if we should pick them up, and where, and the phone and the contact people. If you better write in the OA process, and then we just turn it to the to our HR people, and they will help us prepare. And for now, I say most of the time, you guys don't for this information in the OA. Then I need to ask you one by one. Yeah, should we pick the customers where? Who should we contact? So for this full information, you all need to think and prepared, and then since you collect the information, put in your OA, then we do it. And also most of the time for us, for our customer visit, and we also have a QC to join us and to show some QC process. I think for this afternoon, our QC manager Mr. Zhang Xiaojun will also give us the class at that time. And I think if you have any question for test, for customer visit, and for other QC problem, and we can communicate in this afternoon. Anybody have any question? No?
And one more thing is, I think maybe we can go through for quickly go through for the factory visits, the presentation, the slide, because that one is also the first impression for the customer. We need the every information inside is really correct, or
Yeah.
but this one maybe even after you create or update all the things, you can send me back. I check about it. Okay, this is one thing for the factory visit slide, and also another one is company catalog. What's the status right now? The company catalog. I mean the vision, the final vision. Did we already settle down about the catalog?
Ifan?
Actually, catalog I already finished
Hello?
editing. Hello?
Eh?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Ifan, I can't hear you.
I don't know how to fix this. Ben, can you hear me, Ben?
Yeah, I can hear.
Miss Ivy, can you hear me?
Hello?
哎，薛总听不到吗？我能听到他说话。
How do I fix this?
薛总。喂，薛总。I can't hear. Ifan, please
Yes.
say again. Okay. Anybody else? 高飞能听到吗？李刚能听到吗？
要重新进一下，因为
我可以听到。
刚刚的确是断了，我又重新进来听的。
我再邀请一下薛总。哎，薛总，这次能不能听到？
刚才是断了一下。
对，听不到刚刚。
Hello?
Ifan, please.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Did you hear me just now? I said we need to go through the again for the factory visit slide, the slide.
Go through the slide. Okay, all right.
Yeah, that is one thing. Another thing is the catalog. The catalog, what's the status right now?
The catalog actually already finished editing. Next, maybe need to review a bit, and then if there's no problem, then we can start to order a new catalog.
Yeah, because I asked Willie to discuss with all of you about the valuation. If you after the valuation you can send to me, I just go through, or maybe also not only me, you can share in the group, or the sales have a look, and then if everything is fine, we just go start to next stage. Okay.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, but the catalog when you can send out to share to say, because I want to start it very soon, because your factory already don't have the catalog, right?
Yeah. Actually, we have the new catalog, but that one is
Yeah, that one
the
is from HQ. Yeah.
yeah. Actually, I already
Yeah.
finished everything. After this, I can send to you guys to the group to review. I
Yeah,
think.
you
Yeah,
just
I will
share.
share too. I will share now. 我现在就发，薛总，稍等一下啊。
Okay, everyone can have a look for the catalog to check if you have any suggestion or what. We will start the printing. This is one catalog, factory presentation, slide, and also Lincoln, because we even before maybe shared a website with you or not. That one is our company website on LinkedIn. So I hope everyone can check out, and also you can share with your customer. For this is a good way for advertisement for promote our brand. Maybe even you can also update the information about it on it, and also share the website to all of us stably. Maybe every month one time or something like that, right? To just because LinkedIn is very professional and also worldwide to be known. I think it's a good way to you can post in your maybe post in your social media moment, or what your friend, your customer can say it, right?
Yeah.
大家都明白吗？就是我们有一个公司的网站是在那个 LinkedIn 上面的，一范他会把这个网站发给定期的分享给大家，上面会 post 我们做的一些项目，我们公司的一些新的进展。我觉得这个是一个很好的推广的方式。你们在做销售的时候，要善于运用这些东西，善于去想这些东西，就是说。可以分享给客户，也可以 post 在你们自己的一些社交媒体上，或者说就你们自己的一些你们认为可以客户看得到的一些东西，这个是一个很专业的一个推广，就有的时候就是说无形当中形成一种推广，还不是每天跟客户只打电话只说，哎呦这个玻璃怎么回事怎么样，对吧？我们也得有一些提高，有一些。sales 之外的一些东西去做这个事情 ，OK， 这个是最新的 catalog 是吗？
对，我已经发在群里了，薛总。
Everybody have a look for the catalog and the slide. The slide before I will check. Some others also can check if have any comments. You can feedback to us as soon as possible, because we will start the printing. I hope can start the printing very soon, okay? Because all the process, internal OA process already finished, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Ben.
Okay. Yeah.
Hey, Ifan.
Ben, can you share the coding animation inside the group? Or is it too big?
You mean the coating video?
Yeah, coding video.
The coding video inside I hope you guys can write down the Chinese the Chinese description and the English description, because I want to check the English description is properly or not. But firstly, I need to know what the Chinese leader want to see, so I hope we can use the most proper professional words in the video. Okay, even our catalog. because this is will be always to be used for the new staff, for everyone, to the customer, for the first impression. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
The coding video, I download it in the in YouTube. My friend tell me download in YouTube.
Oh, okay.
video.
Alright.
Sales office，槟榔没有了啦。Sales office low 槟榔 Malaysia low 槟榔johor bahru low just delete。Sales office just say Malaysia, Singapore, Thailand, Indonesia, Philippines, Vietnam, India. India we have office? We don't have office in India. Korea,
No.
Middle East, Brazil. Malaysia or just for Malaysia. No need to separate. Do you guys think the contact way needed to put into the sales office?
Because the contact actually already put inside the LinkedIn.
Oh, inside.
Yeah, maybe you can put the LinkedIn link.
Says Eco Glass, a high value glass industry leader. 这个中文怎么说？
高端
高品质的
领军者，
玻璃领军
行业玻璃行业领军者，玻璃行业领军者，
行业领军者，
高端玻璃行业领军者，
高端玻璃，这个我再想一想，我们要突出我们的节能，对，高性能，这两个点，但是这个怎么说啊？刚才应该说的。之前我记得中间有一个地方是错的，你们这次改过来了吗？拉米那一页，一范。
Yes.
Did we change the mistake about the catalog inside?
Yeah, change it.
Already changed it, right?
Yes.
河源 research. And I think we can the page 2 or page the factories group structure. The architecture glass so far we have 4. We already have 4.
Yeah.
那这个地方你看一下。
In total is 6. 长兴也有了嘛？天津、闽宁。
Yeah, you guys just put in. You tell Ifan the detail. Okay, you just do for here. Architecture glass factory. We are not only 3 right now. We have 2. Road architecture glass. No, you guys know this QT. Asher. 45 pieces. Certificates. I hope certificates. You guys to check. Use the latest one. Okay, latest one.
Actually, certificate we already changed to latest one.
Yeah, change to latest one, and it could be certificate or certificates.
Oh, okay.
Should be have S or not.
Actually, it depends.
Depends.
Yeah, can have S. Because for one, if you want to showcase each certificate, then it should be without S. But if all of the certificate,
Project reference. For project reference, I show KL Ecocity, but you didn't put the consultant or the other sense. I mean the consultant, the architect you didn't put, but for Edconley you put. This is what's the reason?
because I'm afraid that the company name could be wrong. So
I hope you can put this one as well, because this KL Ecocity, the consultant is by Maha Faisal. They are a main consultant in Southeast Asia. So I want to, if the customer come to our factory, it's better to show to them. If you need any information, you can check with me, but we better to put inside.
Oh, okay, all right.
Okay. Yeah, you put the consultant in. Facade contractor, I think no need to put in. Facade contractor, no need to put in. Only way, it's better with only, I mean, we can show owner, we can show architect, we can show indicate facade consultant. Subcontractor or main contractor, not necessary.
Okay.
As real patronize your leadership, PNV also, they are done by Maha Faisal. I want to you put the consultant name inside, and also the architect is also very famous Uzbek. So all the information you put in architect consultant is very important. And also if you want to put the owner, that is could be okay. Okay.
Okay, all right.
Oh, you guys go continue. If you finish, just finish. Yeah.
好的。其他人有没有什么意见 ？Anybody else have any suggestion for our catalog? Okay, if no question, we're done on after. See you afternoon. Ifan?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, we are finished in the morning.
Oh, okay, alright. See you guys in the afternoon, I think.
Yeah. Bye bye.
Bye bye.